Oh man, that sucks. Shit. Shit. Sorry, we'll go back to Wolf, guys. Wolf here. As you can see, we had the market push down here. And the question, everyone, I'll just recap what I covered earlier. What you need to ask yourself is, what are you going to short, not what are you going to buy? It has to be what can I short? So I said there's a three-wave rally right here. Short there. That's a good short setup right there. If you get that. Should not be buying this. Uh, Most likely what we have here is 5 down. We could bounce and then lower. Okay, that's the most likely path. If it doesn't want to do that and just bounce, it could be a WXY. All right, Anonymous, let's go into your super chats. CLSK broke down here. Let's see here what we got going on. And like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. It's almost at our buy area at 1250, but I would always be careful buying in the teeth of a sell-off. But this is a different count. So you have this gap here. I would probably wait for the gap to fill. It's erased divergence already. It looks like to me you have your connector. It looks like you need a bounce and one more bounce and a failure. So it should grind lower. I would probably wait for this gap fill if I'm going to try to take a stab at buying it. MIGI, let's see. We talked about this in a buy area here, and it looks like it extended. We built a connector here, so it's now in another three-wave move down. And we held that low. So we'll just have to label this as something like this. Something like that. But you have an erased divergence, so this will push lower. So it's a sell now. We should go and break this low. I don't recommend trading it. It's obviously this was your stop out, and it's toast. BCHG, and then guys, I know a lot of these are breaking down. That's why I'm saying you should not be like, what am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? It's about selling. We have so many breakdowns across this market. It's not even funny. Technical breakdowns. It's not even funny. It is a buy, but I would again have your stop at 785. When I actually go to Bitcoin Cash, the structure looks corrective. It looks too deep. So I believe this is a corrective structure that we have here, and it's going to go lower. And again, I don't make the market. I just report, I just report the weather, and I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, and it looks like it's going to just head down. It's going to continue to head lower. So I would expect that to break down and break your stop loss. But if you want to gamble, you could try to gamble with it there. I can be wrong, but more than likely that's going to break that level, and that would bring you down to probably this area down here. LTCN, let's see, LTCN keeps grinding lower just like we expected. We're looking for much lower prices on this, probably down to 909 or even lower. This looks like to me just like a 1-2, 1-2. It's in a wave 3 of, well, let's see. That's too big for a 5. I mean, that's too big for a wave 5 there. So I would call this, let's see. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, 1-2, 1-2 on the 4-hour. So I would call this like a 1-2, 1-2, and it's just going to keep going down. Yeah, I would, guys, I think you guys need to think in your mindset, the market is weak. The market, like, I'll go through the market real quick. The TQQ needs to get down to 46.68. There is so much more downside coming, okay? The next, I'll just go through a couple of these just to show you what's going on. SOXL, if I can find it. Here somewhere in my mess of stocks here I've got. Where is it? There. It's got to go to 1250. Okay, you got a lot more downside coming. SMCI has to head to 480. Okay, Nvidia, where's well AMD, right? AMD is another one. Let's go to technology. AMD. AMD's got to go to 104, 102. Nvidia broke this low, hit our short. Actually, we called that short on my live stream. Let's go to 82.73. We're nowhere near the end. Why would you buy here? There's no reason to buy. We need to be patient. We need to look for short setups. We also had Tesla breakdown today. That's very bearish for the overall stock market, guys. We broke the pivot. Tesla should be heading to 180, 170, just like I have here. So you have to start thinking, what am I going to short? What am I going to short? Not what I'm going to buy. What am I going to short today? What's for sale? You know, what's on sale? What am I going to sell? What should I be dumping? That's what I'd be thinking. Okay, I'll go into your questions. Let's go to XSynX, W1 Dow. I have no idea what that symbol is, but let me take a look here. W1 Dow, Dow Jones Global. I think we looked at this earlier for somebody else, and we called it 5 waves up. It was done, but we don't have confirmation of that yet. We need to see the grant. We don't have confirmation yet. If that's the case, I'll just label it, conservative. And that's all she wrote. And then we'll come all the way back down to 340, 335. Do we have confirmation? We don't. Not yet. Look at that massive bearish divergence, guys. I mean, come on. This is this is the end, right? It's the end. So now, could this push up? Maybe if you're lucky. But again, are you picking up pennies in front of the steamroller? All right, looks like it's done to me. There's another way to label this too. I could put the 2 there, right? I could put the 2 there, and then I could do this, right? And then I could do something like this. But since we're at 3, I could also do this. This is the flat scenario that I've talked about. And you get that. Okay. Either way, everything I show leads to here in the future. There is some people that believe in Moonboy, right? But that's to me a delusional count for a perma bull, and we're not perma bears or perma bulls on my channel. We're not. That's delusion, right? This is delusion. To me, that's delusion. But it's still valid. It's still valid, but that's a perma bull delusion count. That was as valid as the perma bear saying 2 is going to go down to here. Oh, wait a minute. It's actually here, right? It's here. It's going to go down to here. So that's the same delusion, just the opposite end of the trade. Oh, it's going to do that. So I'm just saying, but I show it. That's what you got to do what's best for you. Popcorn Tuner, let's go to yours. So USO is trading with oil. Guys, we told you oil is about to do the wipeout trade, right? And this is why I said you can't get too bulled up by buying the dip here. We haven't broke the structure yet. I said when we break the structure is when we actually get the crash sell-off. We haven't broke it, but we're about to. We're on the doorstep. So if you're in USO, you could be at the verge of experiencing significant losses if you're long. I'll just leave it to you that way. You have to do what's best for you, because if this plays out, it'll drop tremendously. It's going to drop tremendous. Okay, we could look at it real quick. Let's take a look. How's it going here? Looks like this X wave played out a little bit more, just like oil is. This was always our bottom, and it just was taking a long time to get there. Let's see here. Probably put that there. So I'll be looking at something like this. And then something like this. All right, good luck on trading that. BCD. Commodities. Looks like here we have some kind of three-wave move here. Let's go to the weekly. All right, so this is a connector, but this is very shallow. So it would be labeled, but this is so shallow, right? You almost think you know it's going to fail, right? It's almost certain, right? It's destined to fail. But once you break that low, the downtrend is confirmed. That's our deflationary signal, right? But until it breaks, I guess there's still hope. Something like that. There. Okay. I would be looking for more downside. Now, there's still a possibility X could make a surprise pump. But for now, we'll just kind of keep it like it is here. It looks very three waves to me, not five. So just good luck with that. We had a reset. Yeah, massive. Yeah, let's look at the daily. Yeah, big resets, big connector. All right, appreciate that. FCX, let's go to that. FCX, copper is very bearish. We showed copper. It kind of trades with copper. So let's see. This is probably some fifth wave. Well, actually, you have three. We've talked about this as being a big flat of some kind. This is a really complicated correction because it may not have finished. Something like that. And then you see that's only in three. And then that's only in three. And then this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We made a higher high, so we're correcting this move. So to line it up with copper, it's pretty straightforward. I'd be looking for like a flat correction down to this area here. It won't happen overnight, but it should happen over months because this is obviously a flat. This did not make a fifth wave here. I don't see it. I see just 3 and I see 3. So that's what I'd be looking for off of that low, and then we come out. Oxy, I was looking at that today. I was looking at that. We're finally breaking down in Oxy, which is what we've been waiting for. We're looking for this price area to play out. So it's got some capitulation that needs to happen. GME, like I said, not looking to buy anything right now until the conditions are different. No matter the stock symbol, but I will give setups, but sometimes they work even despite the market conditions. We saw that with DJT today. So I still want, I think it will find bottom around $19, $18 in this area. This seems a little too soon. I mean, it's possible. You know, this this leg looks 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that leg looks finished. So, I mean, you got to be a gambler here, guys, if you really want to take the long position in GME. But technically, it is a complete count right now. Now, I think what's going to happen is it will make a push lower in an impulse. But my guess is if you break 2039, then I wouldn't bother. I would expect it to go much lower. So I guess it's do or die right here. Do or die for GME. If it's gonna bounce, it needs to bounce now. If not, the structure is gonna collapse pretty quickly. Yeah, there's plenty of short funds, guys. There's SPXS is the short SPY fund. SPXS, I think that's with leverage. Then I think there's other ones that aren't. You can look them up. Ones like SH, I think. Just pick the one you want, but I would short the weakest indice, which is tech. Right, so, or maybe the Russell now. In 3 waves, if we can get a 3-wave bounce. So again, looking at the Russell here, this is my count. And after 5, it should bounce, right? It should bounce. So we're looking to short that bounce if it comes in. But or if it bounces more aggressively. But right now it's like sidelines. I think you're going to make a 5th wave here and then do something like this. Again, this is the most likely path. But it does not mean, oh, I want to buy this for the 2. That is not what that means, because this situation could escalate rapidly. Because it could be a 1-2, 1-2, and then next week it could be, waterfall, panic selling like we've never seen in a long time. For whatever reason, war, yen, God knows why. But the chart's the chart. The VIX is broken out. The pressure valve has been released, and let's look at the VIX. So if the VIX wants to do a 3rd swing, be looking here to see if there's a bounce play in the VIX right there. If the VIX wants to pull back here and come back out for the next run higher. We did catch this dip buy in the VIX, guys. We caught it. See that? Boom. I mean, this was insane. We caught it. I mean, and now we have another opportunity. Again, let the dumb money buy. Let dumb money buy. Oh, it's safe. It's VIX. It's gonna surge. Let it all buy, and then we'll see if what happens when we get down here again. If we can get down here. All right, AMC, Dogecoin, AMC, again, I keep saying you need to be thinking, what am I going to short right now? But I'm showing buys, but I highly don't recommend buying anything in this market right now. It's like going out in the middle of a hurricane going, oh, I want to buy something while the storm, and you're getting, winds blowing 100 miles an hour, and you're going to get blown. You need to wait till the storm is over and then pick through the wreckage. But here it is. So it's got to stop here. This has to come to an end right around here. If we break this low, the charts negate it. It will unravel quickly. It will come all the way back to $2. So we need this has to hold here, just like GME. Do or die. It's a do or die. If you want to try to buy it, try your luck at the casino. You need to put the stop at 454. G-Wave, let's go to G-Wave. Oh, Dogecoin, real quick, Dogecoin. We talked about Dogecoin, so it's back in the area that Wave 2 can find buyers. And again, you'll have to decide, do you want to play it? Now, this looks like a better impulse off the low, right? So perhaps you can find some support here for the next push higher if you're lucky. Again, your stop loss will have to be all the way down at 9 cents. If it hits 9 cents, it's pretty much game over for Dogecoin. It's game over. So this area is like do or die. Um, this is where you would expect it to bounce, and you'll have to decide if you want to play that or not. But that's the count. I don't have any reason to think why it would break this low. I mean, but the market could just puke and margin calls and liquidation, liquidity crunch. So it's dangerous to be buying anything right now, given the market conditions. All right, I think I got through the super chats. Again, I'll stay on to market close and then I'll wrap it up. Um, just randomly, I'm going to pick some in here. DJT guys. DJT was one that did work out today. That did hit our buy area and bounced. So if you were, brave enough to jump at that, we did get that buy. So we have a reversal here, right where we wanted it. So as long as 26 holds, we expect more upside. So if you buy it here, you really need this to hold. If it doesn't, it will unravel and puke down very quickly. But it looks like it's complete. So for those who took that, let's keep going. Donald Gibson, let's take a look. Tesla and Nvidia. Yeah, so Tesla broke its pivot. I would be looking to short Tesla now in 3 waves. So we had 3 and we broke down. So we formed a connector. So we're looking to go to 180. If we can come back up, we could short that against 235. I'm changing the labeling on this chart. For now, there's a couple ways to label it. I could put the wave 2 here, and then this is a 1, 2, and we'll come back to retest 111 and an W, X, Y, or we will break this low and come back down to $60, and wave 2 will be set here. So I'll show you the worst case scenario, and again, I don't make the market. I just report the weather forecast. I'm like a weatherman, and it's obvious to tell you that this is pretty bad for Tesla. I'm really sorry it didn't break out. You didn't get a 5th wave. It was a corrective structure. You should have stopped out here. If you haven't, don't come yelling at me when it's trading at $100 and you lost all your money. You need to be thinking now, I want to short Tesla. That's just what this chart tells me. And whether I believe in the company or not has nothing to do with it. It's just what the chart says. The market is bearish, guys. You're having a major breakdowns all over this market. So here you go. That's the chart. And Nvidia is also broke its pivot. Right here, you have an ABC. The X was set. You could have shorted it at 120. It should just keep grinding lower to 85. It won't be in a straight line, of course. It's going to be choppy, but it should head down here. And then if you're lucky, you can get the wave 4 bottom in Nvidia. But as you could see, there's so much more room to go. All that room. The market is a lot more room to fall, guys. No matter what happens here. Okay, if Nvidia wants to come back up, we'll just short it again. That's it. Now we know. We know the direction. The market gave us the direction. It wants to go lower. So now we know what to do. Before we weren't really sure. Now we know. Okay, let's keep going. Guys, all these stocks are going lower, guys. All these stocks are going lower. The semis. Nothing's a buy. Everything's a short now in the semiconductor space for a while. Okay, just be aware of that. Again, because everyone's going to ask me about buys, ask me about shorts, because that's what your mind needs to be shifted to. Let's see here, SMH. Let's take a look at the SMH. SMH broke its pivot here just like the SOXL did, and that was an ABC. So we'll be looking for 195, 182, the wave 4 bottom. So it's got more to go. All right, next is NVIDIA. I already did AVGO. And again, I'm trying to get through a lot of these quickly so that you know, during the market hours here, so people can uh, you know, make some decisions if they need to. And yeah, and if what I'm saying is hurting your feelings or whatever, I'm really sorry. Again, I don't make the market. I don't control where we're going, but I just report where I think we're heading based on the price action I'm seeing. All right, so we have this wave 4, but let's look at the big cycle here, the larger degree cycle. Obviously, the daily broke, right? We're correcting this whole move, which is what we have here, but let's look at the weekly cycle. All right, we're corrected the weekly. So here's the thing with AVGO. That's the line. If we break that line, then we're gonna have a waterfall sell-off. Okay. So would I like to buy it here? Again, this is a gamble. Like technically it's supported still, but if you want me to tell you what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to bounce and fail. Okay, I think it's going to do something like that, but I'll let you decide what you want to do. I'll just show you the chart. I don't recommend buying, but you can buy if you want to, because maybe you'll get lucky and this will be an outlier and it will trade against the market that I think where we're heading. LRCX, Lam Research. We called the 5. Looks like that's your connector and pretty much a crash correction of some kind. We'll be looking for 676, 617 in this area here. Okay. Looking for more downside. Again, it could bounce at any moment, but I'm ultimately looking for probably the retest of whatever this, you know, I guess it kind of like a downtrend line, but it's got to go lower. Obviously very bearish. You know, again, let's go to the monthly cycle. The monthly cycle broke, so it's probably in a bear market for months. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down here, it bounces and fails and goes even lower. Viking is another one that I believe is going to succumb to this bearish, you know, this bearish situation that we find ourselves in right now. It had a chance to run, but it's just not going to do that. So I'm looking for a double correction in a connector. This could have been a low. This looks like 3 swings. So the next area of support is at $18. But we have to wait till that 45 breaks. But I think it's just a given that that's going to break. I don't, you know, I was hopeful, but looking at where the market's going, you have this gap. Chances are it's coming down to this area. Yeah, thanks for the call, Will. Adobe was one we were keeping an eye on. It was a little tricky, but it looks like, again, it decided to double correct, and it looks like we're going to head down to this this lower area, probably fill this gap here. But let's give you, now that we have a connector, we can try to find a target, a wave 2 target here. Yeah, right in the gap. I would look for the gap fill. So maybe deep. It may even go down to 462. But I'd be looking for down in this area. EWM, let's go to EWM real quick. Equally, no data. I don't know. Maybe, oh, there we go. All right, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that ended here. Right? And now it went out in A. This is some kind of connector wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it needs another swing lower, but we don't know when the connector is going to end. It looks like a triangle connector. to me for B. So we'll try to play this out a little bit. Something like that. Good luck trading that. TLT. TLT, yeah, I covered the TLT yesterday. I definitely see it going higher. Can it get to 106? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a realistic target. I can't tell you what time, how long it's going to take. My system doesn't take time into account, so you'll have to do that on your own. But I do think it will come up to this 110 area. Okay. Post short opportunity. Yeah, let's look at that. See if there's anything there in post. What an ugly chart. Well, let's look at this one more time. Yeah, I was right. I was right before. That is the 3-4 right here. All right, so it's, wave 5 could be done at any moment. I don't like top tick in a market. It looks like it's about to race divergence. So it looks like it could be in wave 3 of 5. This could be some kind of defensive play, right? So I think there's no short opportunity here. Dylan, I think again, I was just looking at the SPY. I'll give you what I think the most likely path is. I'll give you a couple paths on the shorter time frame. Whoops. So there's a couple paths. We get this 4. This could be a triangle 4, but we get this 5th wave. Well, what happens after 5 waves? We go up in 3. So that would be the suckers rally. And that would be the short opportunity potentially. If it does that, that's what we want. Now there's another structure this could be. This could also already be in A, B, C and already be finished. And then we already get the suckers rally here. And then we want to short that. I'm starting to lean toward that direction. I'm just starting to lean that way that, market participants just can't help themselves buy in the dip. And they do something like this. That's what I'm thinking. Looking at where the VIX was and all that just a minute ago. I bet that's what we're doing. Something like that is my guess. So where's the short possibility? Now, you had this gap. Maybe we look. The ideal place would be the short 539 for right here if it could do that. But it may actually stop dead in its tracks a lot sooner, right there. So you may not get the ideal entry here, but this vicinity, if this is the count, it looks like that's the count. Again, remember, everyone's conditioned to buy the dip. They want to buy, they want to buy, they want to buy because they think it's just another sell-off but they don't understand, the larger degree cycle we're in. So let them buy. Let them pump it back up again, Let them do that. But anyway, here it is. That's probably what we're looking at, but it's not confirmed yet. So I don't like even trading this in the end. This is not good trading opportunity. Let's go to that one. DW. I'm just going to ignore whatever that is. A trade in view glitch or something. All right, pretty simple. That looks like a connector wave. That looks like an ABC, right? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. We lose the whole fifth, so we should be trading back down to here. And that's exactly what I'm seeing right here. And I see 3 up. The short opportunity was right there. Right in this area, that was your short. That's your short opportunity. And then look for another leg lower down here. And looks like to me some kind of ABC correction. And you have an A, B, C. Something like that. We don't have a monthly cycle reset, so there's no guarantee the top is in, by the way. So there is always a chance it makes one more run for it, but I doubt it. But you'll have to do what's best for you. It could be finished here, maybe one more high. If it's not finished, it's again, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could already be finished, and you just can't see that fifth wave because of those 2 wicks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5 is done. So tough to say. We don't know yet, but bearish divergence. Daily cycle broke. That should continue lower. That will probably break the weekly cycle and then cause the waterfall cascade selling down to the C leg. That's what it looks like to me. But it could still, maybe it can save it. Maybe they can save it. That's why I still label 4 on the market, guys. It's still 4. It's still 4. Right? We're not saying this is coming yet. So I'm still showing this fifth wave. So I'll still show the fifth wave for now until the market tells us otherwise. But technology is starting to tell me otherwise, by the way, guys. Again, we'll keep an eye on this. Watch this 4 push down and then come up. So watch for that. But that doesn't mean I want to buy the dip, because it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and Monday is like hell on earth on the market. Okay. I do want to show you guys Japanese index. Everybody's like, oh, look at me, Japan. Guys, I showed this Japanese index a long time ago. Oh, yeah, that's coming, by the way. But I do show a 4, and we're close, but we're not there yet. And we need an impulse, and we have 1, 2. We need 3, 4, 5. So it's got more downside. Now, if this gets going, maybe it's already done. If that's done and B is in for the Nikkei, you're going to see this. I think this is probably the crisis that ends the grand super cycle. Maybe it is this yen carry trade that creates the calamity that people don't understand yet. Like they didn't understand mortgage-backed securities when they did. If this is the count, guys, and it's finished, what we're about to go, this is going to get so bad that I can't even talk about how bad. But we'll just say 4 for now, okay? And we can just hope that finds support there, and this yen carry trade doesn't blow up in our face, and may already be too late. I mean, that's down almost 6%. That's pretty bad. Okay, guys. Yeah, I had a mic. I was trying to hurry up and get this live stream in. I'm just going to look through some comments and see. I'll pick out ones that look interesting. Yeah, ARM broke down. I already did SOXL. TNA isn't really tradable given where the Russell is at the moment, but you know, people got to do what's best for them. Let's take a look at TNA. If I can find it. See, it already stopped out of the 4 now. This is too big to be a 4. So it's probably done 5 here, 3. This was probably a corrective structure, right? We never got the 5th wave. So we have to just assume, like the rest of the Russell, that we're still correcting. And this was just a connector. So I do think the Russell may is probably topped. We'll wait and see how the weekly close is here. But I would be looking for it to push lower now. I wouldn't recommend buying this anymore. Oh, I missed G-Wave for Super Chat. Okay, let me go back to that. All right, so we got that 5th wave. But you see how you erase divergence? So it extended, and it's not a 5. It's still in wave 3. So it's continuing on its journey lower. So it's just going to keep going lower. It looks like this wave 3 should be over soon for a bounce, but it should just continue lower. Hold on. Make sure I got this labeled right. You know, something's wrong with my labeling. There we go. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh man. Oh yeah, this is history. This thing's toast. That's the problem with trying to bottom tick waves. So as you can see, it's got a lot more room to go down. I mean, a lot of waves have to play out to the downside. So it's got lower, obviously. Let's look at yeah, consumer staples. Again, it's a flight to safety trade. That's how we know it's not the low, because when you get the final washout, everything will sell off. I was warning about this B wave. We haven't taken this peak out, so Pepsi could be at the verge of a major reversal. Now you got to take this out. You got to take out 179. If not, it's about to have a waterfall down. Okay. Now, if you could take this out, good. That's good. Let's look at the shorter cycles here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, W, X, Y. So again, if you could take this out, then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I think this is negated. It's negated. Okay. Then the low. Then this is the low. You'll make 5. You should pull back, and then you should continue higher. You should, right? That's what I'm saying. Should, but it's having trouble. It's oh so close. Let's see the consumer staples sector. Let's look at the XLP. Same looking chart, right? A, B, C looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So It's got to take that peak out. So close, but so far. We'll see what happens. It might, maybe, and that would surprise me. I was expecting Pepsi to have more downside. I would be surprised by that. But that would be okay. You know, I guess that's okay if that happens. All right, let's go to the next super chat. I'll see if I can find that symbol. PHB BTC. Like Phoenix. All right. Again, charts like this, we only just trade from the low, and because it's essentially a go to zero type. Looking at this here, 1, 2, 3, looks like you got 5 up to me. You came back in 3, and you came back up in 5. And now you negated your advance. So and now it's 5 down. So this ended up being a connector wave. Yeah, it just ended up being a connector wave. Yeah, probably something like this. And then that's a connector for this move down. It's probably coming back to this area here to retest this low in a 5-wave move. Or a 3, you know, so I'm thinking, yeah, this chart's not a good chart to analyze, but my guess is it's going to continue lower. This looks like 3 waves off the low. Something, you know, it looks very corrective to me. And then this is just a big mess. This chart is really tricky to analyze properly because it's just it's a kind of an unconventional chart for that we're used to getting. My guess is it's not bullish. It's a bearish, and it will continue lower and swing it in 3 swings. Yeah, there's just no other way I can think of it. And then it bounces big again. And then it just keeps doing the same. So I think it's something like that. That's what I'd be looking for. But good luck. No, I grew up in the Baltimore, in the Maryland area. So I'm from the Mid-Atlantic, though, not from Philly. Coin. Let's look at crypto real quick. What do we got? So a couple minutes left. Coinbase finally took that dump we're looking for. We want to see it down into this area. So we're getting there. That's good. All right. Yeah, I mean, if we get that bounce next week, that's the ABC scenario. Let's look at how we're closing. Um, yeah, we're closing it with some indecisiveness. Again, this could be a triangle 4, and then we push down and out next week. I mean, it could even be like I'll show you guys a couple of things. What could be happening right now could be that this is the most bearish, right? This is the most bearish. This is the crash scenario. All right, that's a crash scenario. It could be that. Not likely, but it's possible. What I was thinking originally was we get something like this, and then that, and then you get that like another relief rally. Now, we are close to the buy-in area, but the problem is you see you have 1, 2, 3. You only have 1. So you need 1, 2, 3. So that means we're going to come deeper down in here. That's what I'm thinking. This is what I would be like this would be like the most expected situation. And then I was like, oh, if they want to ramp it into close today and you know, generate like, oh my gosh, I got to buy, you know, and it's Friday, you know, and it feels good. I got the weekend coming. I want to just buy and spend my paycheck in the casino. Then maybe you'll get this, where you get X, and then you have that short opportunity. And then what that tells me is next week won't be rosy. It'll be like a wipeout. You'll get your little bounce. Maybe Monday morning you'll get follow through. But I was wondering if we were going to get this into close. The next 15 minutes, they were going to ramp this, squeeze it, and then it sets us up for another rug pull like we had yesterday. But it looks like the market is wising up to that. They're not trying to chase it here, so I think the market's kind of confused. So it's a stalemate. We're closing with a bull-bear stalemate, and it's not really like I think the longer-term direction is obvious, but I think the shorter term is not as clear cut. It's not as clear cut. Let's look at the VIX. See, it did break down, so the VIX should be put again. This pattern should push lower. Okay, doesn't have to. It should, and if it does, that should be market like relief. Should be, right? Even if we pump here, we didn't complete this like we had here, right? We saw this premature pump, but then we eventually came back and hit the buy area. So it could still do this like premature, but I think if ultimately, now that we broke this, we should come back to 2245 at least, somewhere in here, before we can maybe have another push. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So I don't see any good short opportunities in the market right now. I want to see another big rally like we had on Thursday, and then we can look for short opportunities. If we get a big flush Monday or next week, perhaps things could get get dropped to these areas that I showed we're missing. Like we want to get to TQQ. Hey, if we get a big push in TQQs down here, regardless of the count, maybe it is time to start to buy. If AMD's at 104, then it's time to buy. If the SO, if SOXL is down and collapsed, that's time. So I think we just have to wait and be patient and see how these play out. But guys, this is very bearish. I mean, this failed. And again, I wish it kept going, but it didn't. It's just up, and then you're like, well, why is it doing that? Well, if you look at the count on the TQQ, it's just a simple 5-wave up move. 5 up, and then there's your 4. So it's going to come back down to here. So it makes perfect sense why we broke down. But it's just happening so fast, right? It's just happening fast. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Good luck. Have a good weekend. Of course, I always do my live streams on the weekend. I plan on doing that. and we'll see how we close and go for we'll go trade. And like I said, guys, buy and long goes against my philosophy of we always swim with the current. We don't swim against the current. You don't trade against the current because that's just not how I trade. So I'm not looking to buy anything with this technical breakdown. Now that the market has made its move, we know where the direction is clear. It's lower. There's no reason to be looking for be a hero and try to dip buy anything. I don't care what any of these stocks cost until those conditions are met. I am not a buyer. I'm a seller of things. Now, a couple days ago, it was 50-50. I mean, we could have bottomed. This could have been the low right there on Wednesday, but we didn't. The market wasn't. Market wants to go lower, so we'll go lower with it. I don't care how cheap something looks. It can get cheaper. I'll just leave it at that. Thanks again.